Finish.
who found a
Clear finish. That's 57 millimeters right there, in case you're curious. That's 57 millimeters.
Okay, well, I'm Ryan, and I got the TOV and the what is it, TT?
Tabletop Battlefield. I don't use
I
it.
got the Tabletop Battlefield shirt, so I'm wearing both, and I am here in my own studio, which is my living room, Tales of a Halla studio. Yay! Hi, how's it going? Live on the interwebs.
And Ryan just kind of stopped talking, so I'm Jason. And boy, did you guys miss one heck of a story time with Ryan on this special Merry Christmas episode of the Tabletop Battlefield. So Merry Christmas, everybody. It's that magical episode each year where Ryan and I try to figure out what the hell is wrong with our society in a way that doesn't get us banned from YouTube. And yes, Ryan had a heck of a...
Stuff they ban they shouldn't, and then the stuff they should ban they don't.
That's the problem. It's a very obnoxious
The
game.
thing is, we won't ever know what the audience thinks because they banned the dislike button.
Well, I know what the audience thinks in terms of dislike button, just they don't know what it is. I know what videos people don't like. And there's one in particular people really, really hate. It's got like a 15% like rating. There's a Warhammer painting video I did.
I didn't investigate this. I'm sorry, I didn't investigate this further. So we can actually see how many dislikes there are, but the
Yep, correct. So as a creator, you still can see.
I didn't know. Okay.
Why they did that, you can take your guesses. There's plenty of political theories about why that may be. But it's just to improve the morale of creators, even though we can still see if we suck or not. So I don't quite get it.
My digital middle finger at YouTube because for putting another nail in there. Seriously.
Have you tried to...
I mean, can we remember the days in like 20 years ago? What was the big MySpace?
Was that... It's
I
been
didn't
20
know.
years? I guess that was... That's almost 20 years ago, wasn't it? That was like probably 2005, 2006. Oh, boy.
Something like that. Or I think even before that. Wait.
I guess...
I
Let's
think
see.
it was even before that because I mean I knew people that had MySpace page between
Yeah, probably was.
2001, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 3, 4, 5. I think actually 2005, 6. That's when Facebook was starting to, you know,
Because I got in...
or just starting up.
I got on Facebook when it was still colleges only, and your university had to be invited. And I was a senior in college. That would have been 2003, 2004. So yeah, Bob, MySpace. That's probably about 20 years. Oh my goodness! Wow.
So you got to imagine if some of these social media places are running their course and they're trying really hard to go even faster. It'd be interesting to see in the next 10 years or so whether YouTube will be around, whether Facebook will be around, if they'll not be taken over by something, I don't know, bigger and better, but we'll see. There's lots of competition out there.
I don't know. It'd be nice. Have you tried any other platforms yet?
I'm starting to. And I talk about it a little bit on my microphone. I talk about it a little bit on my Tales of a Halla page, and I even have a link where I have like my season 3 trailer, and that's all I have. But Rumble is.
Oh yeah, okay.
I am like I'll put my Tales of a Halla content on. Just so I mean, at the very least, it's another platform that I can just put my stuff on, which is.
Yeah,
And it's so hard to tell because with the internet and how things are. I mean, and it's not really a matter of even something that works and that the public likes. What matters is it's something that works, the public likes, and it's not going to be surprised.
yes.
Kind of like taken down by the quote unquote competition. Because I mean, we don't have to put. You might have to edit some of this. I know I've heard things like saying um, like Google. Well, I forget what big three thing it was, but I know Google was one. Maybe Facebook, Twitter, like
Amazon.
combined have more power than like even like the Roman Empire did back thousands of years ago. Like it's like a huge empire in itself. At least I heard that described. Now, whether or not people believe that, I mean, it's up to them. But it,
I'm
it, there is some truth to the fact that they do control a lot of what people view or potentially can. So.
So, it's not uncommon for those companies to get actually in fights with other countries' governments because of some regulation they want to implement one way or another. It's like there's a little bit of negotiating equality between some of the big tech companies in a country in Europe, which is kind of intimidating.
And anyway, I say this every year, but this has nothing to do with miniature wargaming.
No. This episode honestly doesn't have much to do with miniature wargaming, to be honest with you. It just, we ramble for, I don't know, half an hour-ish or so, and 30 people watch it, if we're lucky, and that's about it.
So how a little bit, which is Heroescape miniature wargaming.
That is true.
Sometime later.
I have 2 gaming miniatures on my desk. Does that count for anything?
I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Robot?
It's just fun to have all this content. It's insane for the fact that when I start now, I'm done with all the stop motion, and that took 5 years to do all the stop motion for season 2 and 3. 5 years to do. Yeah, I'm waiting for my $1 million check from Disney. But to do all that stop motion, I finished it. Like I started, I think. What was it? January 2015 or January 2016? I think it was January 2016. And I just finished the stop motion July this year.
So that was only
it was taken. So we're talking.
Sorry, season 2 and 3 took 5 years. Or the whole, all 3 seasons, just. Oh wow, where have the last 5 years been? Well, shoot.
It's been having actually 2 major surgeries, a baby, and everything else in between. So.
Yeah, I got none of those excuses, so I don't know what the heck happened.
Yeah, so to actually get it all done in 5 years is just amazing, especially when all of it comes out. I mean, season 1, which took like maybe a year to animate and edit, it didn't take too long to do. And that's about an hour's worth of season. It's a 10 episode season. It's about hours worth of season. Season 2, I forget how many hours or how long that is in full length. It's probably over an hour as well. And then season 3 will probably be the same. So we're talking about a feature film here. We're talking about 2 feature films. These seasons, and yeah, it's just terribly insane. 150 pages of script for seasons 2 and 3. 150 pages plus. And I'm still like there's still actually 3 voice actors that I'm getting like audios from them because they got microphones. Because like one lives in Michigan, one lives in Jersey, another lives in San Francisco. So they're still sending me in like stuff that I'm just like I either missed or I want to add in. So I mean that type of production still happens even when I'm in post production. It's just insane. But when it does come out, it's just going to be so good. And like I said, I'll get into this later, and I there will be clips that I can show. A little bit, just some special effects clips of Morrow Drudge. See, there's some miniature wargaming for you. But it's just, I mean, the length of it. I don't know even if I finish all the editing for season 3 by the beginning of the summer, or even by next July, that'll be good. But I don't know how long it's going to take. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I want to talk more about that in a little bit.
Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't.
I, because I know you want to talk about like stuff you're doing. There's probably some miniature gaming stuff that you've done. I know I'll talk about like things that happened to me this year personally too, because we usually get into the personal things before getting to the gaming thing. So I don't know if you want to talk first about that or not, or if there's something you wanted to say. I don't know.
I mean,
How
sure.
prepared are
Why
you?
not?
Because
Not
I am not
very.
prepared at all. Okay.
I spent all day shooting videos and editing videos for other episodes on this channel, and like I said, I mean, my life this year, other than working on videos, the reason I cut back so much is I accidentally joined an Ironman triathlon team, and I've basically been.
Now I'll never be able to do.
It's, I don't know if you got to be kind of an idiot to do this stuff. To be honest with you, it's stupidly intense workouts, but it's a lot of fun, and I nearly got myself killed multiple occasions trying to learn how to ride a triathlon bike, which is like the most dangerous bikes in the world. Don't ever learn those things. And yeah, but that's basically been my entire life because it's literally that kind of intense workout is about 8 to 10 hours of exercise a week outside of a full time job and a YouTube channel and on that kind of stuff. But that's basically most of my life. Yeah, that is true. I've never been in better shape in my life. Holy crap! I'll be honest with you.
There you go. Because well, I mean, I don't know how much you weigh, but I mean, my weight, of course, I've always been underweight. But most guys our age, especially getting close to the big 4-0,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we're not. Most of them are not thin. Let's just put it that way.
No, they are not. That's an issue with this country, but on the topic of what the hell's wrong with our culture.
We eat a lot of fast food. Or in my case, I eat a lot of tacos and wonderful Central South American.
Ah, yes. There was one day after so I do the hard workouts on Saturday where I don't remember what the workout that day was. I think it was a 35-mile bike ride, 9-mile run, so it's a total of 45 miles of exercise. And that night I was at a friend's house, we were playing games, and I had like 4 glasses of pop, and the guy was like, "Man, aren't you worried about the calories in that?" And I pulled up my phone, which keeps track of how many calories it estimates I burn. I hold it over to him. It's like, I burned like 3,500 calories that day working out in the morning. I'm like, I don't care. I can tell you, I won't say exactly how much I weigh, but I lost 10 pounds doing this exercise over the summer. It's insane because the way most of the training is done for triathlon, it's done in what's called zone 2, which is primarily fat burning. So you just melt fat off your body. I mean, and you build a lot of lean muscle doing it. It's really I mean, if you don't want to do the long distance stuff like the Ironman things, just doing triathlon is an incredible workout. And it's so much fun too, because you're doing different things every day. Swimming one day, biking, running, whatever it may be. But that's my excitement for the year.
All you need to do is take what you just said, post it somewhere where there's available single ladies, and you'll probably get it.
You would think so. I wish it was that easy. Maybe next year when I can officially say I'm an Ironman triathlete when I complete an Ironman, but
Yeah, no, I understand. It is tough. It is tough.
Yes, it is. There's quite a large number of single women in their 40s in the triathlon community, but apparently not a lot in my age range, unfortunately. I don't know why that is. It's kind of frustrating.
Because most of them are married and having babies, probably.
Probably. But hey, that's you can still do triathlon. There was a big earlier in the year. There's a big professional triathlon event called the Collins Cup, and it was basically you had 6 men, 6 women from each country in this whole competition, and did I say 6 men, 6 women? I don't know what I said, but 6 men, 6 women as a team for United States, and I think it was 3 of the women had actually given birth in the last 6 months. and the announcers were just amazed at how these women were like had given birth like 6 months ago, and were competing in this very intense long distance triathlon. And they kept bringing it up over and over again. It's like, so you could, I guess you can do it, but I don't know.
Hey, I'm married, so I'm when in Rome or in your bedroom, whatever.
Something, your voice cut out there for a while, so maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I
didn't say anything before, but
okay.
I said when in Rome or in your bedroom.
Okay. All right, I heard everything. Never mind that. Okay, well, that's my entire life for the year. So why don't you go about talk about your personal stuff, man?
Okay, well, you ready for the next hour?
Did you say next hour?
I could go that long. Okay.
Do we need disturbing warnings or medical detail disgusting may concern, may cause, induce anything, or?
Keep it PG. I'll try to keep it.
Okay. I had the non-PG version recorded earlier if anyone really wants to hear it, but no.
Emphasis on try.
Well, I still have my censored clip from last year. I can drop in whenever I want.
Well, as everyone knows, if they've listened to me before, I have Crohn's disease, which is the wonderful disease which deteriorates your intestines. And I've had that for almost now 30 years. I was diagnosed when I was 11, turning 12, and so now I'm going to be 30. So about a couple of years away from it being a 30-year anniversary. Woohoo! And I had surgery back in 2016, removed some of my large intestine, and had a temporary ostomy, then got reconnected again. And you should already know this. And tried going for these last few years on that to try to have things go decent function again. The problem, though, is that, and I'm saying this on medical terms too, that my rectum was deteriorating, and it ended up with a lot of scar tissue. And I didn't find out that bit of information until like September this year. And in the meantime, so many years in the making, I had just gradual discomfort, incontinence issues, and just an overall sense of that my lifestyle was just degrading, and eventually to where I couldn't even leave this house without having to make like bathroom plans and deal with pain, and a lot of back pain too. When your rectum deteriorating, it doesn't mess with your front part of your belly. It messes with your back and your spinal cord, and it hurts. It just hurts. It just darn hurts. And so I was dealing with a lot of that, and actually starting like July this year, my health just deteriorated rather rapidly. I started losing weight. I started not being able to sleep at night. I would go through maybe like at best 3-5 hours of sleep, and I'd only be able to sleep like an hour at a time, and it would be really hard for me to get to sleep. Sometimes it would take me hours just to settle down and get myself to sleep because my back was hurting, or some part of my body was hurting to where I couldn't. So literally had not slept a full night's sleep since July, and this was coming up to September, early October. And then my doctor told me, yeah, you excuse me, you according to what we're seeing from tests and scans, you have a lot of scar tissue in your leg, and that is a huge problem. And once I was told that, I'm like, yes, that is a huge problem, and we need to take care of that. So what I did was middle of October, had a surgical operation where I had all my large intestine removed and a permanent ostomy put on, unfortunately. And so I'm still actually now on my 7th week of recovery from that surgery at the time of this video's recording. And I'm doing great. I obviously have to manage with ostomy the rest of my life now, but no more back pain. I sleep at night, and I am eating good. Like I think I was maybe like around 100 pounds at the time of the surge, and now I'm almost to 120. So that's good. I'm eating good. So um, here's to hoping that no other parts of my intestine, because I'm running out of intestine to cut out. That uh, everything stays well, and I feel well so far, and just hopefully recovery will keep on being good, and I spend a long time just living normally. I mean, we'll see, but that was the big thing, and there's been other family things have been going on with my wife and stuff this year as well, that we had to take care of. But I mean, overall, year ended. From where we're at, we're doing okay, and of course, my son, now 3.5 years old. It's just amazing how fast they grow, because I still remember him being a baby in my arms, just crazy. But yeah, I'm able to spend more time with him now, and there's actually like 4 days in a row, like these last 5 days, like I would go out somewhere with him, usually to the park. There's a park like 5 steps away from us, and so we've had a couple of nice days, because I'm down here in Kentucky, where it's a little bit warmer. It's nice. It's nice. No snow yet. Just some cold, but we sometimes get like upper 60s, low 70s still. And
Right now it's frozen up here, in case you're curious.
I know.
And it's going to be frozen for the next few days, yes. We had a good run in early November, and then it just tanked. So anyway, sorry, go back.
Sounds a lot like the Lions too.
They won last weekend, thank you very much.
And I think they had a tie once too.
They did, yes.
Anyway, but so that part's good, and it's still. I mean, for me and my overall health now, it's just maintaining a good digestive function, managing this ostomy now, and starting to live around it, because I mean, I had it temporary like 5 years ago, and I hated it. And now I realize that I have to be an adult and just live with it now. And I mean, that just kind of takes some doing, and I'm figuring it. And I'm just basically focusing on the positives, which is I don't have to worry about. Seeing that in the video, the point in this video where
I'll fix my set later.
But no, I mean it's just focusing on positives, where I don't have to worrying too much walking out the door and actually being able to do just even simple stuff like grocery shopping, because before I just was not able to do that. And so I'm very thankful for that, and like I said, just I hope to maintain myself being healthy in the years to come, and not have to worry about it anymore. And it's something. It's a we'll see, but I just remain optimistic, and I'm starting to put a lot of my time and effort and my work and doing these videos as well. So that is basically the personal life stuff in a nutshell.
So I guess I don't have a whole lot else to talk about, to be honest with you. It's like I'm still sort of working on Legends of Keladaji. I just honestly been kind of lazy. The new expansion is sitting right over there, ready for. I just got to put up on the website for sale, but I haven't done that yet, because I got I just do a little video trailer, and there's one scene I'm not happy with, the CGI, so I got to go back and redo that. I'm also got to actually introduce a female character for the voiceover, so I got to find someone to voice that. So a few little details, but that new expansion at some point will be available. That's my lame excuses for why it's been now. I literally bought that expansion, and I got it printed for me over a year ago. Like last June, I think I got it. It's been sitting there. So that's my tabletop game stuff for the year.
Well, no rants or anything?
What now? Sorry, what was that? No rats?
No rants. Rants.
Oh, not really. I don't know if nothing that's probably good for YouTube. I could run my mouth about all sorts of things if I really wanted to.
Well, I don't think YouTube really pays much attention to us anyway. That's what I think half the time.
They probably don't, but if the wrong person sees something, then they will start paying attention to you. And with only 900 subscribers, boom, gone.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Well, anyway, I'll put in a plug again right now. You see that pillow behind me?
I see that. Yes.
That's a Tales of a Hal logo. I have a merch store. That's something I can actually talk about because I don't think I had that last year.
I don't think you did.
I have a Tales of... Nope. And you actually have a t-shirt somewhere, Jason.
I do, yes. It's in my bedroom.
With quotations, but there's like... well, anyway, yeah. I have a merch store, www.cptov.store, which is merchandise for Tales of Hal, the Aftermath Chronicles, and all, or not all, but some of the proceeds will go towards, or any money I get from it, go towards a budget toward future seasons of Tales of Hal. Seasons 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because seasons 1 through 3 was a my budget enterprise, and I'd like to establish a budget for future seasons just to help whatever expenses might come. Probably, and it'll make episodes come out faster and not at a snail's pace that it already is. But let's see here. What can I talk? Okay, so yeah, Tales of Hal. This is something I'm really excited about. Even though it's like I spent the last week and a half now going through special effects for episode 4 of season 3. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 3 are already out on YouTube, and we celebrated that already. Woohoo! Yay! And you've seen those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the 3 I know you've seen because you helped.
Yes.
And episode 4 is going to be a lot of fun because we have the Empress from the Einar faction. If anybody's familiar with Hero Escape, from the Einar faction, the Empress and a bunch of Einar Imperial, and a couple other Einar figures, capture our heroes, and end up, and that group ends up being ambushed by an army about 50 plus Morrow Drudge. Plus Nagra. Working on these shots, and it's a lot of, and primarily focused on just the Morrow Drudge and their gunfire effect, which we actually see at the beginning of Season 2, because the Morrow Drudge are in a huge battle scene at the beginning of Season 2. And if nobody's seen Season 2, I recommend go see that. I'll provide a link for you just to see the whole... I'll provide Jason a link where you can see that whole playlist. Because that's a battle scene that involves like hundreds of miniatures. That was absolutely insane. I'm never doing that again. At least not after I need a few years of a break. But this scene for episode 4 is just basically you have these Drudge firing down on this group in an ambush, and then you have Einar Imperium that are attacking them, and then you got our heroes, the Airborne Elite, just trying to escape the torment or the torrent of this battle scene. So you don't actually see the ending of this battle scene. You just see like the beginning of it, and then our heroes trying to escape it. But yeah, so just a lot of fun, a lot of intense things are going to be happening up in future episodes. First 3 episodes are kind of slow because characters need to get places and need to establish some characters. But episode 4 and beyond that, things are going to start getting a little bit more intense. A lot more fight scenes, a lot more clashes. If anybody is familiar with Hero Escape at all, there's gonna be a lot of matchups, and even like episode 9, I think episode 10 is like, this is like, I think I like a 90-page script, and I think like the last episode is like 20 or 30 pages of script. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. I even added on a page of script to it as well. So, like I said, when I say it's going to take a long time to edit something, the further I go into season 3, the longer I take, it's just going to take longer to edit these things. You know, it starts out really simple, but gets more and more complicated. But it is going to be so worth it, and I personally think, like, especially seasons 2 and 3, they're going to be so fun just to rewatch over and over again, that I'm hoping that I can keep, you know, a community going of people watching it for a long time to come, until we start making more of them. But yeah, so that is what I'm currently working on with Tales of Valhalla, just to finish season 3, and that really, when season 3 is done, it'll finish that whole the story arc that's been established. There might be like a couple of open things to lead into future seasons, but all the main like character arcs, the main story arcs, are going to be done and complete, and people should be satisfied with the ending. So it'll be happy when done. Hopefully this time next year, when we're talking again, probably online again, because I don't know if I'm going to be in Michigan this time next year. Yeah, that's probably what we'll be talking about. Is like, yay, season 3 is out, and watch it and stuff, and yeah, it's awesome. And I will have to say too that, I mean, when it comes to working on Tales of Valhalla these past several years, I mean, from post production to even just starting to plan and thinking about buying all the Hero Escape materials, and I did that like a year or two even before starting to animate. And then, like, working on it, this is something. It kept me alive. It really did, because these last several years I went through a lot of difficulty with my health, and there were times to where it's like I was going to the hospital, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be coming out of this. It's that serious of situations, and even this year, I had a goodbye video that I had set to a live stream just in case I didn't come back. And the funny thing is though, I stayed longer in the hospital than I thought I was, and I'm just like, am I gonna? And so I had it on a dead man's timer, to where it would just go on automatically through on Twitch. So I didn't need to plan anything. I already planned it before I went to the hospital. And so I set it for like 3 weeks after my surgery. So I figured, okay, well, I'd be home by that time. The funny thing is, I got discharged on the day that it was supposed to be released.
Well,
I didn't think I was going to be in the hospital for almost half a month, but I mean, my recovery was slow starting out. So, but that never make it, and thank God, no one's ever going to see that video, because I mean, and it was tough to make. It was really tough to make. But I realized, you know, I needed to do something that was going to be necessary if that was the case, because you never know with these intestinal surgeries what's going to happen. And like I said, thank God everything turned out okay. When it comes to Tales of Valhalla, it you know, when people say an idle mind, or, you know, a mind focusing on negative things, it's not good for your health.
mm-hmm.
For me, focusing and having a goal for something positive over these years, it kept me alive in so many ways, and it helped grow friendships. It helped gain friendships, and it helped develop my skill too. I mean, I don't know what type of future I'm going to have, even where I'm at right now, but at least I know that I accomplished this, and it's something that in the future, even if I'm not around, the people I know that love me know it, and my son is going to know it, and that is some of the important things. And Jason, I got to tell you that I think so much because if it wasn't for you, I would have never have played this game. It actually comes down to it. I probably would have never gotten into video if it wasn't for you.
Do video editing?
Yeah. You remember that when I first met you, it was because me and
Oh, that's right. Yes, Keith. Yes.
video editor. That was a long time ago.
I forgot. Yeah, those first few years where you filmed the mission trips, I did the editing, didn't I? And then eventually you took over shortly after that. Oh yeah, you're right. I remember that. Shoot.
So, and I was telling my wife this a few months ago that I'm like Priscilla, there's so much that Jason doesn't even realize that I'm where I'm at. A lot of because of what he did and his influence. So, if I never said it before, I'm gonna say it right now. And this isn't a ha 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 moment. This is more of a serious moment.
Are we allowed to have us in the show?
I do thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
So much, and your friendship is probably one of the most valuable friendships that I can have in my life, and
I'm glad to hear that.
It's a spot thing.
Yeah, there's been. So there's been some things I've learned this year from other people. Where the thing is, you don't really realize the impact you have on other people's lives because you rarely ever find these things out. So that's why when you're talking about Tales of Valhalla, and this is my YouTube channel here. It's like you just kind of just do them, like even though you think you're kind of doing them for yourself, you just do them like you're trying to inspire other people and just make other people feel proud and be happy with what you're doing and just kind of just show. I guess I don't know what's the right way to say about it, but you don't know what impact you're having on other people's lives, and it's really amazing the few times when you do find that out from certain people. So just kind of remember that when you're creating stuff, where even if it seems like 15 people are watching, those 15 people it could be really darn important to, and who knows what those 15 people are going to end up doing with their life, So it's something. It really is.
Yeah, and especially like in this day and age, and so many people suffer from, suicide is an unfortunate high rate. I mean, there's even like within like these last 2 years, there are people I know, or I know of, where they've committed suicide, and it's an awful. So I always do my best. I actually have an ending log line that I just developed in the past week for the ending of my live streams, which basically says, you have a purpose in your life, even if you don't realize it. Find it, pursue it, live it. And that's going to be my ending tagline for my live streams.
That'll work well.
And and I know we're getting to serious stuff. Again, none of this has to do with the miniature war game.
No. That's the other year's worth of video my channel is for, and what Tales of Valhalla is for. You don't come here to hear the latest wargaming news. Who cares?
Yeah, but there's one. It's like, and there should be links in the description below for Tales of Valhalla, and please check those out. And when you do check those out, in my videos, I also promote other people as well. There's a handful of people that have developed their own channels, whether it's Heroescape related stuff that they've decided to develop on their own, and then I've joined up to be like, oh hey, great, I love what you're doing. Let's work together on something, or things have sprung up from a little bit of influence. It's a great thing. So when you get on my channel, try and follow this channel and give those people some love as well as possible. It's a fun thing. In that.
Indeed. All right. Well, we've been at this for a little while here. So, any last few things you want to say before we call it a year?
Give me a second to think.
No problem.
I still actually have this here. I still have
Oh,
chocolate
just look deeply into hot chocolate.
here.
I mean,
I will be working. There's a lot of audio stuff I need to work on. I'm like now like about. I mean, obviously I'm still in surgical recovery, so it can't be every night, but usually 3 to 4 nights out of the week I'm up until like 1, 2 in the morning, just trying to edit as much as I possibly can because there's a zillion things to do that I still got to get done.
you say you're up to 1 or 2 in the morning editing video?
Editing, like either editing
Wow.
video for my Tales of a Hal episodes, or editing stuff that I've done for a live stream the week before, or working on audios for other episodes. It's a lot of stuff. It's so intricate, all the stuff you gotta layer in on these Tales of the Hal episodes, because you gotta think of the voiceover audio, and then you gotta assemble that once, then match the video with it, and go back and readjust the audios for like whether you need a softer or harder, depending on how close the miniature is to the camera, to make it look like they're speaking from a distance or up close. And then rendering that, and then adding the ambient sound, the sounds for the special effects, movement, like movement sounds, then music, and then you gotta like all the visual effects that are involved, as well as the color correcting and making sure it all is in sync. It's a ton of work, and I'm probably leaving out a couple other steps.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but like I said, I figured out a system, or as best as I can, and it just takes a while. And I can't wait. Kimoshi sounds just like what Kimoshi should sound. That's one of the characters that I'm most satisfied with. Even though she's kind of like a side villain for seasons 2 and 3, she has more of a role in season 3. And the voice actor who plays her as a character, he's just so good, and it just sounds just, oh my goodness, it's one of those things to where it's like when you alter the voice, good enough, and the voice is good, but then you put in those alterations, and it just sounds so nice. And we'll be seeing more Kimoshi in future episodes for sure. Might even see her fight a little bit, maybe. Quite possible. Of course, Jason, you've read the script a little bit, so you kind of know what's coming.
I have. I remember bits and pieces of it, to be honest with you. I don't remember the whole thing, so at least parts of it are still going to be a surprise. I tend to remember the parts of my character, and to be honest with you, and I don't remember a lot of the stuff. So
You got a few characters. You got Nivik Sa and you got Gearnt.
yep.
And there is no word of a lie. I within this past year, I found a voice actor, which he's gonna just be doing a couple of little voice plays, and then probably for future seasons have on other lead roles. But he can pull off a little bit of a Jeremy Irons type voice, which Scar.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that metallic type, and I never thought I'd be able to find that, especially from someone who's just volunteering and be like, oh yeah, I like what you do, and I love Heroescape, and it's like, yeah, let's collaborate together, in the future. I'm like, yes.
Very cool. Scar's like one of those awesome bad guy voices. He's just fantastic in that character.
Yes, I'm thinking probably an SNY, and he's definitely going to play an SNY, because Not that anybody watches this it's really much of a spoiler, but yeah, like the next like 2 or 3 season arc, the main villain is going to be the S&M, no doubt. And for those of you who don't know, Hero Escape, they're vampires. It's undead. It's basically we're gonna have an undead type of season to where it's going to be the rise of undead. So we're talking zombies, ghosts, and vampires, and we're going to have every type of horror cliche in the book in these seasons, no doubt.
You sure you want to reveal all that right now?
Who's going to watch this? Maybe like 2 or 3 people that actually watch my channel. I could probably say I could probably read all of the season 3 script and still it's a good.
I go create a fake account at heroescapers.com and post Tales of Hollow spoilers for seasons 4 through 6. Undead all over the place.
Not that that's going to happen anytime soon. There's about like about like probably 300 to 500 zombies that will have to 3D print and paint. So yeah, I'll be doing that in my off season.
Can you at least use those vegan brain zombie lines I recorded as a joke for whenever you have me do the voice of that one zombie?
That'll probably be my Wilhelm, type of thing.
I forgot why I did that, but
I keep and save all my voiceovers and pull them up whenever I need them. For sure. And that is something that has to do with miniature wargaming, people. Yes.
Indeed. All right.
It's just amazing. Yeah, I just want to say that it's amazing how much of a community there is in HeroScape still. That game has been discontinued now 11 years, or is there any
something like that?
And this is a question I want to present. Is there any other war game out there that's been discontinued like 10 plus years that actually has the following like HeroScape did?
See, I don't know how to judge the size of the following. There are several cases. So there was, for Warhammer 40k 2nd edition, which is one of the old editions of it, there was a diehard fan base who refused to jump to the later editions. So there was some people doing that for quite a while. There's some hardcore Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 or Go to Hell people out there who don't play the new version of Dungeons & Dragons. So there's some of that. So I don't really know how big they are, but it happens.
But those games are still around, though. They're still producing. HeroScape doesn't even have like the company providing, whatever edition version. They just completely cut it out.
Yeah.
So, I'm talking about if Warhammer just completely stopped, like they stopped producing any miniatures, and it was all up to the people who love the game to make their own stuff. I don't think there's anything else like that out there.
The closest thing, it's tough to say, because you have something called Ninth Age, which is, so Games Workshop killed off Warhammer Fantasy a few years ago and replaced it with Age of Sigmar, which is a totally separate game. It's a very similar miniature line, but rules are completely different. So Ninth Age basically picked up Warhammer Fantasy after it was killed off, and it's kind of spawned its own game. It's kind of in that realm. They often even have their own miniature lines, they 3D print and stuff now. So I don't know. HeroScape it's fairly unique at the very least. It's not a very common thing to say. Most games, when they get cut out by the publishers, they don't last very long. They get a couple of years and they go down. So HeroScape is definitely fairly unique in that regard.
Right. And there's even like a HeroScape Con type thing that they started this year. To where they gathered for a few days, and it was just all heroes. They met a hotel in Indianapolis, I think, and yeah, so I probably plan to go next year if they do it again next year, and try that, and probably bring along a friend or two as well, because it's like Got a bunch of people like Hero Escape? Okay, I'm gonna play you a tale of, and most of them that are there probably will know about Tales of Hell anyway, because I post it all up in their forums anyway.
Can you bring some merchandise along?
If I have permission to, I don't know. I might end up communicating with the organizers and be like, can we have a movie night or something? Because I have stuff that is about as long as a movie. But no, yeah. Actually, it's one thing I want to, because I know you want to finish this. One thing I want to talk about too is 3D print a second, because as we're talking, actually the whole time we've been talking, my 3D printer's been going, because I'm still 3D printing stuff from that little Ender 3 that I have. I'll be printing terrain, and actually I'm printing like Christmas presents. It's totally like it's such a cool thing to have, and I know more and more people have it. It's becoming more affordable. I know you have 3 or 4 different like terrains, right?
I got technically 3, but I only ever used 2 of them.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and that's the only thing. Like you 3D printed a set piece for Tales of Valhalla too. That ice.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Through correct. Yeah, we talked about it last year, and so I used that this year as well. And all I can say is it worked.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
It did a great job. Anyway, okay. So with that, I guess we will end this then, and Jason, you can shut us down. If you feel the need, I'll shut up.
I try to keep things under an hour-ish for these shows. I think we're approaching that right now. So
I haven't even been looking at the clock.
Unfortunately, I kind of have to. Yes.
I look at the clock when I'm running things, but when I'm just sitting here, okay, just talking.
I think we stopped talking about the mortar shell shoved up the guy's butt about an hour ago. So I think it's about time to go. And that is how we ended, guys. All right. Ryan, why don't you...
According to the press, he tripped
and fell.
Okay. Everybody, you entertain yourself. Okay. That's all I gotta say.
All right, just sign off. Say your name.
Okay. Anyway, I'm Ryan.
And I'm...
Oh, yeah. Links. Should we say link?
They'll all be in the description.
Where? Okay. Yeah, just go to the description wherever, find stuff, promote, bye. Okay.
But it's YouTube at tabletopbattlefield.com. And I'm Jason, and there might be a little story time with Ryan segment after this. We'll see how things go. I don't know. We'll see if I can clean up that article. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year on the Tabletop Battlefield.